The Falcon and the Winter Soldier is one of the sequels that many people were looking forward to that happens after Endgame, so we can see the fallout of the world. Now the writer of the show talks about Thanos' impact on the entire globe and the specific impact it has on this series and the story. So in a recent interview, the writer of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, who happens to be Malcolm Spellman, talked a little bit about the plot that they were coming up with in a post-Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame world. And he said that when he approached the writing process, it was nice to pick up where Endgame left off because the world was sort of fragmented in a weird way. For example, you had half the planet suddenly disappear, half of the universe disappear. Half a decade later, they all come back. What does this do to everything in the world? The economy? What does it do to people that moved on? And how do people perceive themselves that went through this traumatic event? And what happens to some of the people that believe that they were chosen, for example, that they stayed behind to carry on a certain message? What's going to happen with certain people that perceive this as some sort of divine intervention, right? Well, that's exactly what they wanted to deal with in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and Thanos' specific impact on the world. And how do people that went through this, how do they perceive themselves? Do some people that took on a more villainous role suddenly see themselves as a hero? Does he or she perceive themselves to be in the right because they lived through something that others didn't? And that's something that they wanted to explore and have it be a constant throughout the entire series. And I definitely think you get the sense that this isn't over for the MCU, because we see that in Spider-Man Far From Home. We see that in WandaVision, and we continue to see that in this series, and have an idea that it is going to play a role down the road. It's not going to be the central plot, but it has to be addressed because of the seismic shift that everybody went through. And you start to understand that maybe this is exactly how they should play this out, and this is one of those elements that if you're dealing with singular issues that have to do with these characters in these situations, these scenarios will get brought up. Because again, Falcon and Bucky were there. They were responsible for why it happened, and they're responsible for fixing it. So that's got to play into everything, and it's going to be a central theme. And you definitely get the hint that it's going to get played up more down the road in the future.